Hey, if you are attending a UPW in London on 19th to the 22nd of April 2018, then this video is for you. Why? Because this video is going to be about how you can get the greatest return on your investment. So I'm going to be sharing with you my UPW ROI strategies. Who am I? I'm Harry Singha, and yes, I have been involved in quite a few UPWs, but in case some of you are wondering who the hell is Harry Singha and what qualifies him to tell us how we're going to get the most out of UPW, rather than just me saying it, I'm going to let someone else share a bit about who I am. So first of all, I have actually spoken on the UPW stage, and here's a short video with someone giving you a little bit about who I am.
Right here in London, so you guys, this is going to be off to bore you. And his name is Harry Singha, and Harry, he has been, yeah, you guys know him. Give him a hand already if you know who he is, yes. And Harry, let me show you a little bit about Harry. Harry has been with the Upw Roi. He's been doing this kind of work for the past 18 years. This is his 26th UPW, and yes, he's absolutely awesome. And he is a global speaker, and he speaks for the Anthony Robbins Foundation for Youth Leadership around the world and here. And he also, yeah, there you guys over there. Give my hand. You guys over there. And then he also does preview events, inspiring and empowering people to come to UPWs around the world. And I go on and on about him, but help me welcome to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, is Harry Singha! Come on, ladies. Listen right there, it's clapping.
And there you have it. So that video was a couple of years ago, and you heard Joseph saying Harry's been involved in 26 UPWs. Well, it's about 32. This will be the 33rd UPW that I'll be involved in. So just wanted you to understand it's about making sure that I can share some of my experience, some of my knowledge, some of my know-how of what's going to happen at UPW so you can benefit from it. So let's get straight into it, right? Here are my UPW ROI strategies for UPW. Make sure you have a pen and paper or some electronic format, whatever it is you do to take notes, because I'm just going to start bouncing off some of the things that you need to take into consideration. Now, this isn't the be all and end all, but I want to keep the video short. So once again, get your focus ready. How can I get the most out of UPW? You're investing time, you're investing money. How can you make sure you get the most out of it? Let me just ask you a question. Do you want to get the most out of UPW? Well, I'm hoping you're saying yes, right? So let's go through it, right? Here we go, let's do it. First thing I'm going to give you is Tony will actually tell you. What do I mean by that? My aim isn't here to spoil anything for you or give away some of the content and so on, but I do want you to be aware that as soon as you get into the event, very early on day one, Tony Robbins himself will be saying, hey, make note of these 3 things or 2 things or 4 things, whatever it is he tells you, be aware of it, listen for it when he says, make a note of these 3 things, this is how you will get the most out of this event. Right? Just pay attention for it, keep listening. Anytime he says this is what you need to do to get the most out of this event, make a note, write it down, get ready for it. Okay, so that's the first thing. So throughout the weekend, well, I say weekend, we know it's about 4 days, right? There will always be an opportunity where people say make a note of this, go ahead and do it, right? So let's crack on with the others. First, be open. Now, many of these things I'm going to give you are what we call state the obvious, but sometimes what's obvious isn't always common practice, right? So be open. What do I mean by that? Come into UPW thinking the opposite of what people do that's struggling when it comes to learn. The worst thing you can think of is, I know this. That statement is the killer for any learning. So whatever it is you think you know, put it to a side, go in with curiosity. So be open, be curious, and go in and say, okay, cool. let me just take this on board, because I want you to be aware that sometimes learning is about putting what we know to the side or even unlearning. So number one, if you want to get the most out of it, be open to new things, be open to new learning. Doesn't mean you have to take it on board and have it as gospel for the rest of your life. Just be open to check it out. Okay, so next one, dress code, right? Dress code. It will be cold. When I say cold, because there's air conditioning pumping through the venue. Now, as well as it being cold, it will get hot. Why? Because there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of activity going on. You're not going to be sitting passively. You're going to be learning in an environment that gets you fully engaged. So what's the dress code? Come with layers. What do I mean by layers? Let me be as specific as possible. If you can wear a t-shirt or a shirt or a blouse, a dress, whatever it is you're wearing, but then have something that you can put on top. It could be a jacket, it could be a pullover, it could be a jumper, anything that you can do where you can be prepared that one moment it might be hot, one moment it might be cold, right? So dress code, make sure you come in layers, right? Now, why will that give you the greatest return? You don't want to be thinking, oh, it's too cold, it's too hot, and therefore you're not focused on the experience and the learning and getting the most out of it. Okay, next, seating. Now, what I want to share about seating is on the first day, you will become aware of your own seating allocation and your own seating strategy. So how do you get the best out of it is on the first day, arrive early, arrive on time, go in when you're allowed to go in based on which wristband you have or seating arrangement. Once you know where you're seated, then take a look around and just make sure you're where you need to be, where you're comfortable. But to get the most out of it, just get in early on day one. The rest of the time, I just want you to be aware there is going to be about 13,000 people at this event. If you're coming in with a group of people and you want to sit together, that you need to be in early. You need to find a way, because you could be arriving in and there may be the odd seat here and there all round the XL venue, but you want to make sure that you get the most out of this event. Be responsible, be proactive, make sure you're in on time so you can get the seating where you want in the right allocation. Right. Next, water and snacks. So there will be what Tony calls meal breaks. There'll be like one meal break during the day, and then you can go out, you can go and get some food and so on. But you got to imagine being in a room and content from like 8 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night. So when it comes to water and snacks, you are able to bring in your own bottles of water. So maybe grab a bag, a rucksack, and have your own water and snacks. And when I say snacks, I'm not going to tell you what to have, but just err on the side of caution. It's nuts, fruits, things like that. You don't want to be taking in like kebabs or anything like that. But whatever it is, just have something there with you, because how can you get the greatest return on your investment is manage your time well. And trying to go and get food and things from the atrium. Just imagine 13,000 people plus whatever events are going on. Getting your food and snacks can take time. So if you've already got them, if you've already got them prepared, you're way ahead of the game. Okay, but the bare essentials. Make sure you've got some water and make sure you've got some light snacks with you in the bag, so you can munch away and have your drink while you're still there immersing in the experience. Okay. Next one, bathroom. What I mean by bathroom breaks is this. There are 13,000 people just at the event, UPW. There will be other people at the London XL. There may be other events going on. When you have the need to go to the bathroom, as crazy as it sounds, it's tougher for women. What I mean by that? There are going to be queues or lines, whatever you want to call it. So what I want you to understand is you need to go to the loo. You're going to be drinking a lot more water. Be aware of that, right? You're going to stay hydrated. So for many of you, you may actually think about, hey, why am I going for a pee so often? It's because you're drinking more water. What I want you to realize, and the point I'm making here, is that do not go for your loo break when you are doing activities. That's the mistake that so many people make. Tony will get up and say, go and find a partner. Now we're going to do this exercise. And most people think, oh, we've all stood up. Now's the time to go to the bathroom. No, 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 no. This tip, this strategy is please do not use the exercises as the time to go for a loo break. Right? Have your sensory acuity switched on and you'll know when is the right time not to go and so on. Right? But the most important thing, go before you get in the room, go during the breaks, do what you need to do, but be in the room as much as you can. But once again, for the ladies, you know what? Just be prepared. There will always seems to be longer queues. Now, I do know some women who get very creative on their strategies, but I'm not even going to share those here because they would not be. It would not be very legal for me to say so. But get creative. Next, outcomes. Like anything, know what you want to achieve. Why are you going to UPW? What do you want to achieve? What are your outcomes for life, for business, for anything? What is it you want? Have your clear outcomes. If you can prioritize them, even better. Write them down, and every day that you arrive, you turn around and go, okay, these are my outcomes. Let me stay focused and see how this experience will allow me to benefit and move forward with my goals and my outcomes. Right? Now, I would also say be open to other outcomes popping up when you're there, because we're all very clear, hey, I'd like to improve my business, I'd like to improve my health, my relationships, whatever, and then something else just comes up because of the process, right? But 100% arrive at UPW very clear about what your outcomes, what would make this a mega amazing event for you. How will you define that you've had the greatest event? What will give you the greatest return on your money and your time? Go in with those outcomes, be responsible for it, and see what you can do. Not just from Tony, not just from Joseph or any of the other people that will be presenting, and not just from the people around you, but also you. What can you do? Know your outcomes and set yourself up for success. Next, network. What I mean by network, one of the most powerful things that you can get from it, I kid you not, one of the most valuable things I've ever got from UPW and like programs that are like UPW is not just the lessons, the learning, the experience, it's the people. I've made lifelong relationships with the people that I met at my first UPW over 20 years ago. And I want you to understand, be aware of that. But the tip I'll give you is know what you want. That's your outcome. Know how someone can help you. When you're clear about what you want and you're also clear about how someone can help you, when you meet people, ask them, why are you here? How can someone help you? And then also you'll be able to share with them, hey, my name is Harry and this is how you can help me. This is what I want to do. Just be aware, networking, you have an opportunity to network. There's 13,000 people there. So that way you can get a great return on your investment, your time and your money. Right? Next, be present. Now what do I mean by be present? I already alluded to it before, like, don't be in the bathroom or going to a coffee shop or a meal break while there's content taking place. If you really want to be the person that got the most out of the event, I mean, I have some people go, hey, I didn't really get so much out of it this time. I'm like, no kidding. You spent 3 hours chatting to someone outside in the atrium while the content was taking place, right? But be present. That means one, be in the room, but also it means this: switch off from the rest of your life as much as you can. Turn that phone off. Make sure you haven't got like appointments in those 4 days, like, in the middle of Friday you're like, oh, I've got to make a call at 3 p.m. Don't do that. Do whatever you can in the time you have between now and when you arrive at UPW. Cancel all those appointments or put them off or tell someone to take care of it. Be as present as you can. UPW is a gift for you. Give yourself that gift to be present. Next, do the work. Just like being present, you can be in the room, right? You can be there, but what I mean by do the work is, don't be that person that go, oh, hey, you know what? I'll do that later. I'll do that exercise when I get home. No, what this means is do the work in the room. There'll be an environment that gets created for you, and I want you to be able to ride that environment. So do the work, as crazy as they may sound, the activities, the work that you need to do, just do the work. It links to being open, but this means to actually do the work. Do the exercises. Don't do them half-heartedly. Do the work fully. If it says come up with 3 X, Y, do 3. Don't go, just done 1, right? Do the work. Give yourself the gift. Next, proximity. And what I really would like to write, proximity is power. Make a note of that. You'll hear Tony maybe say at UPW, proximity is power. What does that mean? The people around you and who you're around is very, very powerful in the sense of what you can achieve. But how does it relate to this specifically? Where you are in the room at UPW, when you have to get up and do an exercise or partner up with a buddy, look for the people who are giving off the energy that you want. Look for the people that are also committed to getting the greatest return on their investment. Look at the people who are playing full out, and make sure you put yourself around them. As long as it's within your seating area, look for those people and say, hey, he looks like he's committed, or she really looks like she's here to play full out. If you can partner and be around people who are playing full out, then rock and roll. That's what I mean by proximity. Look for that. Be aware of that. But most importantly, be that person. Be that person. And remember, the thousands of other people that will be watching this video, I'm telling them to look for the people that are playing full out. Make sure you're one of those people that they want to be around. Next, long days. If this is your first UPW or first experience of a Tony Robbins event, get ready. They're long days. When I say long days, you'll be starting from 8 o'clock in the morning right through till midnight, and sometimes even longer. But just be prepared for long days. So what does that mean? When you do go to bed, whatever time it is, go to sleep. Get as much rest as you can. Right? Just be prepared that you're going to have long days. And if you want to take it one step forward, get as much rest and look after yourself before you arrive at UPW. Okay, so make sure you realize it's as if you're going to have a fitness workout, a mind workout, an emotional workout, but it will take its toll because of the length of the days. Right? So use the time you have for time out very, very wisely. Right? Make sure you can get back out, pop out for fresh air, stay hydrated, but just be prepared for the long days. So it's not like, oh my gosh, why is this day so long? I'm giving you the gift of anticipation, so you're prepared. Travel. Now this one will link to the aspect of long days. If you are not staying on site on a hotel or nearby and you're traveling in, give yourself the extra time. Whether you're local to London or if you're from somewhere else, anything can go wrong with public transport, right? There's plenty of Uber, there's plenty of taxis, but if you've got to be in by 8:30 a.m., make sure if you really want to get the most out of this event, don't be on time. Be early. Be early. And sometimes the factors that we can't control, hey, what can we do? But you can be a little bit wiser and say, hey, you know what, if travel is going to be a factor, let me do everything I can to make sure it doesn't get in the way. Okay, so that's the bit on travel. Celebrate. Now what do I mean by celebrate? Every single thing that you do in life, if it's worth living, it's worth recording. That's something that Tony Robbins taught me many years ago. If life is worth living, it's worth recording. But I'm going to take it one step forward. If it's worth living and it's worth recording, then it's worth celebrating. And what I want you to do is, how do you get the most out of the thing? Look for it. Look for every single win and celebrate it. Celebrate as you go along. Celebrate the fact that you're there in the first place, right? Celebrate each day. Celebrate each moment that you can. Make every part of the process a celebration, right? Next one, support. Use the support. There is a support network built in. You have a whole group of people there during registration process that will be there to support you. The organizers are even arranging registration the night before. These people will take care of you. They have crew. There will hundreds and hundreds of crew that will be there to support you for logistics and so on. Then in addition to the crew, you will have people who are part of Tony Robbins' team, the leadership team, the senior leadership team, and even the trainers. So there will be a whole level of support. If you need anything logistically, look for a crew member. They'll help you out. Right? If you're struggling with content or the work or anything that's going on, look for someone in the leadership team or a trainer. You'll know who they are. They'll be very, very, very apparent who they are when you get there. Access that support. It's there for you. Okay. Now, post UPW brings me to my last one. This is probably one of the most important parts as well, because you could have 80% of the people could attend this event and leave it and go, wow, that was amazing, that was lovely. But seeing as you listening and watching this video and you're still here with me, I know you're one of these people that are not just settling for an even return. You want a greater return. So I want you to understand, I want you to pay attention to what you're going to have in place post UPW. Now, one of the first things that I usually say when I finish this video, post UPW means make sure you got some time the day after or a couple of days after, just to unwind a little bit, allow things to sink in. If you can and it's possible for you, do not just finish UPW and bang, you're straight back into your day job or your business or whatever there is, right? So schedule that. Just like I said earlier, schedule some time out before UPW and then maybe schedule some time out after UPW. Now, with regards to what do you do to keep the momentum going post UPW, there are quite a few things that I can give you, and in fact I am delivering a workshop for the organizers on the next day after UPW, just purely covering how to capitalize on the power of momentum and what you can do afterwards. But for now, what I want you to do, number one, schedule some time after UPW to chill out. The second thing is, in that time, make sure you schedule some time to review all those notes, all those actions, all those things that you scribbled in your workbook saying what you're going to do. Take some time out to look at that. Schedule those. Make a list of all the contacts that you've made. But most importantly, just for now, to bring it all together, I asked you to focus on your outcomes. So post UPW, during UPW and post UPW, look at how you can take everything that you got from that 4 days and how it can help you move forward with your goals and your outcomes. And if you really want to take it forward to another level, then come and join us on that next day at the XL on the Monday, the day after UPW. There is an event called the Power of Momentum. It's an investors and business event, but they've given me some big chunk of time. I've got like about 90 minutes to hijack that event and cover about how to capitalize on the power of momentum post UPW. So that will be right at the same venue in the XL Platinum Suite, and I will make sure that you get this implementation plan where I'll cover what I call Harry Singer's daily momentum rituals that will help you turbocharge you getting the greatest return on your investment, not just from UPW, any event that you attend. And the fee, I know they're charging people $297, but you could attend free. just because you're attending UPW and so on. So there's the link, upwlondon.co.uk/power. That's how you can sign up to the free ticket for the Power of Momentum event on the day after, Monday 23rd of April. Right? And I look forward to seeing you there, because if you really want to get the greatest return on your investment, I'm going to be covering, at least for 60 minutes, a whole powerful bunch of tools on what to do and really give you some extra energy to make sure you get it, right? So that's it. That's the link. Make a note of the link. All that's left for me to say is this: see you there. And on behalf of Tony and me and everybody else that's involved, all the organizers, I just want to say we're so grateful that you're taking this step to give yourself a gift, because the clue is in the title of the event. The event is called Unleash the Power Within. So I want to thank you for taking that step, to be brave, to be courageous, to be able to put yourself in this environment and unleash that power from within. So come and find me, come and say hi. I look forward to seeing you there. It's Harry Singha, wishing you the greatest return on your investment for UPW.